Have you ever compared yourself to another? We all have. Today, you will learn how to embrace your own unique path. My name is Karen Young, and you are listening to Divine Intervention from Dark to Light, where my goals is to help you develop a positive mindset and make sure you recognize and use your divine intuition. I started comparing myself to others as a small child. I was just a kid. I was held back in the third grade, and I was affected. I was affected by that. I was affected by that experience. I really took it personal. I mean, when you're a kid, you just you don't understand. You know what? I got held back. Something's wrong with me. I felt I wasn't smart enough, so I started comparing myself with other students and everything. I started comparing myself, self to, other things as well. I began to compare my intelligence, my height, my weight, my success, and this went on through some years too. But this is when it started, when I was young. And then I started comparing my hair with the girl at church. The girl at church, they were saying that she had good hair. At that time, you young. It's like, oh, I never forget her name was Prasada. Pretty girl too. She was my friend, and they went on along about her hair, how pretty it was, and how wavy it was. And I was like, yeah, she do have pretty hair. That's when you compare when you're young. And if she had good hair, then I must have bad hair, because I was comparing. Because when my mom combed my hair, it hurt. It was kind of thick, in texture. It wasn't wavy or nothing like that, and it wasn't down my shoulders or nothing like that. So I, compared myself in numerous of things, but those are things that's coming to mind when I was a kid. And I just thought I had bad hair. I was wishing it was different, and I was wishing I was different. Being more like somebody else, and that's where comparison started. And then when I was in fifth grade, I was promoted back to my correct grade. I guess I was doing better or whatever. They saw that I, was, up to pace, but I still felt I needed to catch up with other students. I mean, that just didn't go away. I still felt that. Why did that happen to me? I carried that. I carried those feelings around with me, and I felt like I wasn't, good enough, smart enough. I wasn't coming up to par. Even though I was promoted back, that still lingered. And if you don't do anything with that, I mean, as a kid, you can't. You're just dealing with things that's coming at you. And all you think at that time is, this is my fault, what happened, to me. And so I learned a lot from those experiences, guys. I learned comparing myself to another is a losing battle. Through the years, I really realized that's a losing battle, because I know that, just growing up after that, still kind of comparing with my friend. She was getting the jobs. Like I said, it didn't stop, just different things. I had another best girlfriend that she seemed to, we were all looking for jobs. I was going to school, Jones Commercial, with this business school. And for some reason, I just wasn't getting a job. I was trying so hard, but she had two, and I had none, whatever it was. But I did soon come to the conclusion. I once, because I've always kind of evaluated myself. I think I knew, on some level that I had to kind of look at myself in different ways. And I came to the conclusion one day, I'm like, I'm sitting up here comparing. I just got to know that I'm, doing what I'm working with. She's working with what she's working with. And I just realized, and when I was saying that to myself, it's like everything changed. I mean, my mindset was like, I'm just going to do what I'm doing. I can't control somebody else, what they're doing. So when I got in that mindset, that allowed me to just kind of pay attention to what I was doing. And then things turned around. And then I, started working with myself in ways where, that I say I don't have to compare myself with nobody, that I'm good enough, and just started my positive self-talk. But I was always optimistic anyway as a kid. So this wasn't hard for me, but knowing, having the knowledge, turned it around. And then reading books and stuff like that. But then I learned that I was not a failure because of my experience. I needed to just pay attention and learn more about myself. I mean, my experiences were just my experiences, and that's what I had to pay attention to. And then later, I used my experience to fuel my life in positive ways, because if that didn't happen, everything happened to you for a reason. If that didn't happen to me, then I wouldn't have never pushed myself through life thinking, you know what, I'm not a failure, and that fuel always drive me, because I was going to always prove to myself I was not a failure, even though I failed or whatever in school didn't make me a failure. That was just something that's experience that happened to me, and that's what I'm trying to convey today. That just because you have these experiences, they're not you as a spiritual being, as a divine being, as a person. You're that person that God made that's creative, but you're having these, good and bad experiences that's taken on or that's happening to you, but they're not you. They're just experiences. It's something that happened to you or something that's happening to you or happened to you in a bad way or that affected you. But really, you're supposed to take those experiences and use them for fuel. If you don't need them, then you need to just let it and release them. But if you need them to keep them, then use them for fuel for positive ways. And so that's what I'm getting at. And so how do I stop comparing myself to others? Okay, I'll tell you how I stopped comparing myself. I became aware of my thoughts. It's always come back to your thoughts and what you think. You're not your thoughts either. You're the spirit that's aware of your thoughts. But, you have them. So you got to be aware of what you're thinking when you're thinking it. This person, you're jealous or whatever. They got this or you comparing. You really can't even compare yourself to family members. I'll tell you, that's how deep it is. You can't even compare yourself to your own brother or sister because they're in a unique situation. There will never be a you. You will never be someone else. They can have similar paths, but they can never walk in your shoes. And so you need to get aware of your thoughts about what's going on with you. Change those thoughts if they're harmful or, are not helpful to you. Change them to something positive, get in a positive mindset. And then I realize I am on my own path. I'm on my own path. I'm on my own unique path. And I can't compare with somebody else's experiences. They were all meant for me. All my experiences were meant for Karen. They were meant for me to learn, for me to overcome and to be a better person. And that's where God have it. He don't have you just in one state. He wants you to overcome all your challenges to become better so you can see where you came from to where you're going. And all this is just material for you to just learn on, to learn yourself, get better at your craft. Remember that. The good and the bad, all of it. It's really not bad. It's just a learning type. If you look at it differently, change your perception about it, it'll change. Okay? You have to realize how special you really are. And that's what I realized, just how special I really am. Even though I had those things that so-called bad experience or, comparing or whatever, I am special. And I want you to know you are too as well. And I focus on my strength. I start speaking on, hey, I'm a good person. I'm a smart person. Yes, I'm enough. Yeah, God put me on this earth for a purpose, for a reason. So I'm here standing before myself because you're always in a mirror reflection of your life all the time. You're always looking at, there's a loop going on here. You're putting out and you're getting it back. So you have to look at your strengths. You put the strength out, you put the good out about yourself, thinking people pick that up. You ever see a confident person? I mean, they're dealing with their strengths. They're walking strong. Their shoulders are a certain way. They have confidence. So whenever I compare myself with the other, it takes away my energy from me. It just does. When I sit, the time that I sit and think about somebody else's life, it takes time away from my life. The only way I could possibly compare to somebody if they, got good work after they doing something that I want to do. Say you want to be an actress and you're looking at somebody's craft and they're acting, they're a good actor or they're a good actress and they're doing well and you're saying, I want to be that actress or actor. And you're comparing, but you're saying they're doing something different now. And then you compare in a healthy way. I can I can learn from that, or I can learn stuff. If you learn it in a healthy way, it's great comparing because you're trying to get stronger at your craft. So that to me, that's healthy comparing. Okay? So if this is something if there's something you need help with, here are some tips from me to you. Don't compare yourself with another. It's just not, it never works because you could never be somebody else. Know that your circumstances are unique to you. Like I said, they're all unique to you. It's designed because you're that person, they're that person, they're another person. So it's unique, whatever it is to them. Your hair, your color, your eyes, you have everything you need to get into this world. God has prepared you. Your color is for a reason. You're in your region for a reason. Everything is for you. So be thankful, be blessed, and be happy you're you. And so everything is unique to you, your circumstances. And don't measure your success with another because it's not healthy to be measuring your success. My brother, he has a, nice car, whatever he's driving this, I'm just driving that. Or, my cousin, he has a big old house in the hills or wherever he got the house built from the ground up. And I'm just old in my apartment. Well, if you start blessing your brother or whoever it is, you say, oh, that's good. That's what's happening for them. I can learn from them. Maybe you can ask them questions. How did you get there? You know what I'm saying? If you want a house, instead of comparing yourself and downgrading yourself for something somebody has, just kind of question them, ask them, what did you do to get that or whatever? And a lot of times they don't mind sharing. If you're not in a jealous mode or you're not having that negative energy, they can show you, or you can find out, or you can do your own thing. So don't measure your success to another. And then everybody identify their success in different ways. You can just be a successful person, working every day, taking care of your family and taking care of all what you need to take you. You're a successful woman or a man. And that's considered successful because then some people don't even have that family where they got that going on. They're not successful as parents. So success, could be defined in any way as long as you don't compare it. And don't become obsessed with what the others are doing. They're always doing something probably different from you. You're obsessed with what they're doing. You can't concentrate on what you need to do. You need to be I need to be concentrating on caring, not what somebody else is doing. Not what my friends or my family, whatever somebody else is doing. It takes away from me. You've been listening to Divine Intervention from Dark to Light. My goal is to help you develop a positive mindset and make sure you recognize and use the divine intuition. Today, I wanted you to know that you don't have to compare yourself to others. Just know how special you are. Please subscribe to Divine Intervention from Dark to Light. I am your host, Karen Young, and remember to stay focused on your unique